Welcome to the Penny Collector. Today I've got 5 rolls of wheat pennies that I got from my local dealer. These are pennies that have, been searched through at some point in time, so there's not going to be any valuable key dates or well-known high-end double dies or mint mark things. So the goal here is to look for the more rare and obscure defects that most people don't look for. So here we go, 5 rolls of wheat pennies. What potential treasures await us in these rolls? Let's find out. Just a quick glance here at the first roll. So these are all wheat pennies. I've already kind of taken a glance through, and they're basically all 40s and 50s. And that's kind of what I was going to expect. They're pennies that have been searched through in the past, so it's probably going to be mostly 40s and 50s, maybe all 40s and 50s, but we are looking for cool defects. So I'm not going to go through and show every wheat penny I find. Just assume that they're mostly 40s and 50s, common things, and I will bring you in if and when I find a cool defect, double die, repunch mint mark, whatever. So here's our first defect. It's a 1954 San Francisco, and you can see the 9 got filled in right here where there was a small break on the die. Nice. First find. Good start. I found my first lamination error. Not sure how well you can see that, but going across him and up to the upper right on trust, there is like this crack looking thing, and then up on trust you got this weird thing going on. It's a lamination error. Let me put it under the scope and we can get a closer look. So there you can see kind of like this rift or fracture going across the body of Lincoln. Move it up a little bit. You can see it continuing up and through, but the best place to look at it is up where the trust is. See that? See how on the S it's got this patch that looks so different? That is part of the lamination error. So very cool. We've got our first lamination error. So here's another thing that is actually quite normal. We have here a 1945 San Francisco, and you can see how part of the S is missing, and it's weak down here. So when it punched, it was kind of a weak punch. Not terribly rare, but still an interesting thing. Looking at the back of this 53 Denver, we have this nice little splotch here. It's another lamination error. It's a piece of the lamination of the coin that fell off because there was something in it that didn't allow it to adhere very well, and so a piece, basically a little thin sheet of the copper, came off. Exciting. It's a 1946 San Francisco. It's our first repunched mint mark. Look at that beauty. You've got the beautiful second S come a curve right here, and then the little tip right there. You can see the double image, and take a look at the Variety Vista website, see if it matches up. It does. It matches up with the 008. Repunch mint mark number 8. Look at that. Matches it perfectly. Very nice. First repunch mint mark of the batch. And it's a pretty good one. So that's the first roll done. First roll done out of 5. We got 4 more now. So in it, we got a few cuds. A few little die breaks, small lamination errors, things like that. And the 2 big things, though, that we found that were really good is the 46S repunch mint mark and a really nice lamination error across another 46S. So we're doing good with the 46S's. So I'm looking at the back of a 1940 Denver, and look at this. So it really looks like you've got this doubled image underneath to the left. You see that? Now, these can be really difficult to tell apart, whether it's a true double die or machine doubling. Now, something that's true of machine doubling is that usually it will kind of fan out a little bit, and the S is kind of the giveaway here. So if you look at the S, you see how it doubles up but also out down this way. So it looks like it kind of spreads. If it spreads, it's machine doubling. It's not a true doubled die. So I'm not certain with this one, but I think this is just machine doubling, especially there on also there on the M. See that? See that how it like seems to fan outward rather than just to one side of the M, going like this side. It fans out that way. Yeah, that's usually evidence of machine doubling, not a real double die. So the dealer I got these coins from said he had done a quick search of them, which is why as I was going into them, I assumed everything would be 1940 or later, which has held true up till now. Here we have a 1919. So I'm happy to know that there are some that are older from the teens. There might be 20s and 30s in here as well. And that's roll number 2 complete, so this is where I'm putting the rolls when they're done. So we only have 3 rolls left to go. So what we found in that one were those 2 nice shiny 58 and 57s, and then the 1919. Okay, I opened up roll 3 and already a surprise. There are 2 still cents in here. I thought he would have taken out all the still cents with his quick survey of them. Really happy to see those. Yay, 2 still cents. Okay, let's get into them and look at them closely. So I wanted to point out as I was going through this, so we've already looked at one of the steel cents. We're just about to look at the next. This one has had a lot of 30s in it. So we've had several from the 1930s. This one's a 1920, and that's a 1929. So we're hitting some older ones. I wonder if these were kind of organized a little bit, maybe by the person who brought them in and gave them to him. And that's why, like the first roll I looked at was just 40s and 50s, and this roll has so many 30s in it and a few 20s. And that's the third roll done. So not bad. We got 2 steel pennies, a couple 20s, 2 38S's, and that's a really nice 38S. And then the very last thing was a 1917. I couldn't quite tell because it was so rough. But you can see under the microscope it is definitely a 1917. Okay, that's it for roll 3. 2 left to go. Just opened roll number 4. And off the bat, don't see anything shiny, don't see anything that looks really old, so probably just 40s and 50s, but who knows what defects. Let's get into it. Just taking a quick look at a classic 1957 with a little cud, a little piece of the die broke out in the middle of the 9. And that's it for roll 4. It really didn't have anything worth keeping, at least not for me, so oh well, we still have the good stuff from previous rolls. But unfortunately, not much there. Okay, 1 roll left to go, number 5. Okay, final roll. Off the bat, it looks like a bunch of them have either been cleaned, not a good thing, or used in some kind of chemical experiment, like electrolysis or something, but yeah, hopefully that's not too bad. Anyway, other than that, I don't see anything right off the bat that piques my interest. We will just get into them and hope that we can find a good defect. So this first one, right off the bat, is a very good example of machine doubling. So you see how that shelf underneath it just kind of spreads out from the letters. Quite often it is toward one side, but see how it's inconsistent? Like the L, basically nothing. The P, look at that shelf off to the left. And the E. See? And see how it spreads not only this way, but that way as well. It just kind of spreads out. Yeah, this is a really good example of machine doubling. Very common and not really worth anything, you know, at least to collectors. Just found this coin. Now, it is pretty worn, but that is a 1932. A 1932 is a kind of a low mint year, so that's a good find. That's definitely a keeper coin. So I did want to quickly point out these ones, many of which I've already looked through. These ones have definitely been cleaned, probably chemically, through a chemical reaction or something, and then these are normal. So disappointing to see that, but they still can have defects, and that is still cool. So we'll keep looking through them. Okay, I finished that roll number 5, and it did not have anything else in it, so that's unfortunate. At least it did give us that 32. So here's our quick wrap up. So we managed to get 2 still cents, one in a really nice condition, 2 really nice a 58 and a 57 that were in really good condition, a 17, a 19, a 29, a 20, a 32, that was nice, a 34, Denver at 238 San Francisco mints. That nice 36 with a lamination error, or is it 46, sorry, with a lamination error. And the Pride and Joy, which was the 46 S repunched mint mark. Really cool overall. Not bad for 5 rolls, especially something that has already been searched by someone else. So, really cool. And until next time, keep up the good hunt for awesome defects.